Hello, it's Sadie. I wanted to come on and do a Mercury retrograde energy reading. We are in the shadow period now, and Mercury officially goes retrograde on April 21st. I'm going to be honest, this Mercury retrograde is a doozy. It could be one of the most difficult Mercury retrogrades that you go through, and this is why. April 20th, 21st is also the beginning of Taurus season. So we're starting a new astrological season. And right at the end of the astrological season of Aries, we have a solar eclipse, new moon solar eclipse in Aries that is going to be squaring Pluto in Aquarius. And so this Mercury retrograde, the energetic portal, the cosmos, the astrology is insane. All right. And so let me give you kind of an overview of other things that you may see during this period of time. So Mercury is a planet that rules communication, rules travel. Mercury is also the trickster. It's like a Loki energy. So it can rule like kind of deception and things of that nature too, and death. So that planet is currently in the sign of Taurus. Taurus is earth energy. Taurus has a lot of energy around money and around value. All right. Here's the other thing is Venus, which is the ruler of Taurus. It is the planet that rules Taurus. Venus rules love, pleasure, art, beauty, romance, sensuality, but it also rules money. Venus is currently in the sign of Gemini. Now, Mercury is the ruler of Gemini and Venus is the ruler of Taurus. So there's this very like topsy-turvy, up and down, Freaky Friday type of energy that is happening with this Mercury retrograde, okay? So the things that are going to be impacted the most are money, finances, the things you value, love, romance, communication, travel. So all of these things are going to be impacted in a very, very big way. Again, it's happening at the very, very end of Aries season on a solar eclipse, which is huge portal energy, all right? And it's a new moon as well. But then that solar eclipse, and I'm going to talk about this in a eclipse video. I'm going to do an eclipse season video and talk about the solar eclipse that we're coming into on the 19th/20th, is going to be squaring Pluto in Aquarius. So there's going to be so many changes, so many breakdowns. There could be huge in the collective. There could be huge financial breakdowns. There could be huge, this is an energy of a lot of fighting, a lot of violence. So the times that we are in, the pressure cooker energy is going to be heightened. And then you throw in Mercury retrograde, which is notorious for communication issues, for technology issues, for travel issues and things breaking down. It's a whole hot mess. All right. It really is. My best advice is start nothing, speak to no one, and go nowhere. But, you know, can you do that for 3 weeks? Probably not. So here's how to survive this doozy of a Mercury retrograde. Okay. The one thing Spirit was saying to me was, it is going to be so important and so imperative to just stay in the present moment. Do not make future plans during this period, because everything's going to change, and it's going to be changing continuously and constantly. We still have a lot of Uranus energy, because Uranus is also in the sign of Taurus. And so even though it's not going to be impacting like the solar eclipse energy, but it is still influencing the collective And Uranus is the Tower in the tarot. It is the wild card. It is the game changer. So we are in a time of significant transformation. And because of that, there's just going to be a lot of changes. And so the best way to deal with this Mercury retrograde over the next 3 to 4 weeks is to keep calm, to breathe, to not make any long-term plans, and just to try to stay in the present moment as much as possible. That's really the best tip I can give you with the energy that we are all moving into. The other thing with this is because there's a lot of Venus energy that's going to be activated, because Mercury is the ruling planet of Gemini and Venus is in the sign of Gemini. And also the eclipse is going to be in Aries, but the opposite sign of Aries is Libra. So you have the self versus the other, or the self versus the relationship. This could bring up a lot of triggers, a lot of arguments, a lot of miscommunication, and a lot of really tricky, difficult, challenging things within relationships themselves. Okay, this obviously and absolutely is about love relationships and love partnerships, but also business relationships, also friendships, also family relationships. And so this is a time where you're really just going to want to choose your words carefully and wisely. Again, there's going to be a lot of triggers, and so try not to react, try not to blow up. It's a very volatile, very sort of fast-paced energy that we are in right now, but it's also a time where a lot of damage could be done. Okay, so to minimize the fallout, choose your words carefully, be kind and considerate of other people's feelings. This is a time of really listening more than you speak. And so if you can really remember that, whoever you're speaking to, really just listen. Even if you have an opinion, even if they're triggering you as they're communicating with you, even if you don't agree with what they're saying to you, really take a step back and just listen. Listen to what they're saying. And then respond from a place of calm, cool, collected. Because this, like I said, this energy can do a lot of damage. It can do a lot of damage to relationships. If you are hurt and you get triggered and you lash out at someone, that could be like the total freaking end of the connection completely. And that's not saying that you shouldn't speak your truth, and it's not saying that you shouldn't stand up for yourself, but it's also saying that this time period over the next 3 weeks is not the time to have those like deep, in-depth conversations. Keep it simple, keep it light, keep it cool, and keep it moving. Like, you don't want to get into long, drawn out arguments with people. You don't want to get into drama, because there's just so much drama in the air. It's a very topsy-turvy energy that you just want to really be mindful of that. And so this is a time where, you know, your twin flame or someone from the past could reach out to you and be like, hey, let's get together, I'm ready. But you want to put the brakes on that. You want to move very, very slowly and very thoughtfully during this period. Again, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it, but the analogy Spirit was giving me was, do you, like, when I was a kid, and I'll use myself as an example, I wanted to, I was a good swimmer, but when I was really young, even though I wanted to like go in the deep end of the pool, like my age group had to stay in like the kiddie pool in the shallow end. And so this is a time where you might want to go into the deep end of the pool, right? Emotionally, but you want to just, for your emotional wellness, for your mental wellness, for your spiritual wellness, stay in the kiddie pool, stay in the shallow end, okay? Trust me, because if you dive into the deep end emotionally during this time, it's almost like jumping into a pool of emotional turmoil and mental confusion. That's the energy that we're in. And so you're going to do what you want to do. Everybody's going to do what they want to do. But to navigate this so that you are not completely emotionally and mentally destroyed after the Mercury retrograde, stay in the shallow end, okay? Don't, this is not the time for like the big moves. This is the time for baby steps and careful, thoughtful, and considerate steps forward. Doesn't mean you shouldn't take steps forward. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't talk to your person or talk to people from the past. If people from the past come back and you want a second chance with them, doesn't mean that you shouldn't. It just means that you just want to be extra careful during this period because the energy is very, very fleeting. Mercury is mercurial. It's changeable. Here today, gone today. Changes its mind as quickly as it changes its outfit. You know what I mean? So it's like, you just have to be aware that that's the energy that we're in. And if you're aware of it, then you can navigate it easily. The other thing too is during this period, Spirit was saying people could be more prone to accidents. So drive carefully, check your car, make sure everything's working. This also is in the house because I was seeing actual like fires or just slip and falls. It's just an energy that's very, it's kind of a dangerous energy. I don't know how to describe it any other way, but if you are careful, if you're not rushing through things, if you're not, you don't have a bunch of stuff on the floor that you can trip over, just be aware of those things during this time. All right. The other thing that I wanted to bring up too is that because it's on a solar eclipse, all right, and so solar eclipses are these huge portals of energy, and usually they bring in beautiful new beginnings. And this one actually can, and it's going to happen during a Mercury retrograde. So this could be like a new job, a new opportunity. This even can be a new love. It's going to feel very faded, okay? But the challenge with it is that it's going to be an energy that's fleeting. And so this is a time to not be attached to permanence. Understand the impermanence of all things and the beauty of that impermanence. The example Spirit was giving me was, say you break down and you're on the side of the road and like your phone battery is about to die and you're kind of freaking out, and then all of a sudden a tow truck guy comes by and says, hey, do you need help? And they help you for free. Everything's great. So it was like that serendipitous moment, right place, right time. You got exactly what you needed, that miracle, that answered prayer. But then you guys went on your way and you lived your life. They lived their life. You probably never saw them again. And so there's a lot of that type of energy during this time where you're going to get the job. You might get the money. You might get the person. You might have these beautiful, serendipitous, very fated experiences for you, but they're not going to be long lasting. They're going to be exactly what you need in the moment to get you to the next step. And so that is why it's so important during this time to just stay present and not make long-term plans. All right, so that was a very, very long intro, but there's a ton of energy with this Mercury retrograde. The other thing too, and look at this card as I'm grabbing the deck, soulmate comes out. So yeah, there is this huge energy around love, around connecting, around wanting to come together. Again, it's not that you shouldn't start a relationship in Mercury retrograde. Usually it's someone from the past who comes back. So again, this could be strong divine counterpart energy or a strong soulmate energy for someone who comes back into your life. But you just want to take things slow and understand that even if your person comes back and they say that they're fully ready for commitment, that could change. So it's a time to not make long-term plans. Stay in the shallow end of the pool, okay? Keep it light, keep it fun, keep it happy, keep it simple, all right? But there's a strong energy around soulmates and around true love. So let's get into the reading. We're going to start with the Sacred Symbols Oracle. Spirit, higher self, guides, guardians, and angels of unconditional love. What else do you want to bring through for this Mercury retrograde energy reading? Okay, beautiful. So soulmates and friendship. So connecting with others and your relationships with others are going to be highlighted during this period, all right? Again, this is twin flame, divine counterpart energy, could be a soulmate too from the past that comes back. You also have friendships, people from the past that you've known, friendships that need to be kind of looked at to see if they should stand the test of time and move forward, or if you guys should move on in your separate ways. But these energies are going to be activated and highlighted during this Mercury retrograde because of that Venus energy, all right? The element of Earth is going to be very, very strong too. So abundance, money, really working and focusing on the physical body. So this could be a good time to exercise, start a new health routine, change your diet, get more grounded, get more balanced, all right? Get more earth, okay? Manifestation is going to be heightened only because of that eclipse energy. It's a solar eclipse in Aries. So there is this heightened sort of activation of manifestation. So you really want to watch your thoughts and words very, very carefully during this period. Only focus on what you truly want. Only speak what you want to bring into existence. Because with fire coming out, the element of fire, everything is on this accelerated motion. It's heating up, okay? Energetically, everything is heating up. And so, again, during this period of time, it's a huge manifestation portal. There's a lot of magic. There's a lot of good energy, but you know, fire can be as constructive as it is destructive. And so this is also a good time for purging and just completely letting go anything that doesn't serve you. If it goes through the fire of transformation and it survives, it was meant to. If it goes through the fire and transformation and dies, it was meant to leave your life. All right? Death. We are transforming, we are transitioning individually and collectively, whether people are on ascension path or not. During this period of time, over the next 3 weeks, there's going to be a lot of change. So Again, this is why it's so important to not be attached, let go of the idea of permanence, and come into the understanding that everything is impermanent. This too shall pass. Change is the only constant, but change doesn't have to be negative, all right? With death coming out too, there also could be some notable deaths that take place during this period. That's all I'm going to say for this video. I'll talk about that more in the eclipse video. But just pay attention to this energy because it's very, very strong right now. But when certain things change, it's also going to bring in big relief. So there is this energy of peace coming in, which is good. We all need it. This is the relief card. This is the peace card. This is the calmer water card. Bottom of the deck, guides. Your guides are with you. Connect with them. They're going to give you guidance. They're going to support you in all ways. Know that you are not alone. And if you just truly trust your intuition, there's going to be a lot of relief and peace in your life, all right? So very powerful energy is taking place. Very powerful time that we are in. I am going to do some tarot. I'm going to do a couple from the Moon and Stars Tarot. Oh, love that. Bottom of the deck, we have Six of Swords with movement. This also is an energy of moving into calmer waters, coming into more peace. Higher self, Holy Spirit, guides, guardians, and angels. Unconditional love. Or this Mercury Retrograde. What do you want everyone to know? One that dropped. I'll get that in just a second. Okay. Ooh, interesting. Okay. And I'm going to do one more card, Spirit. One more card. And that one just... Okay. Wow. So I'm getting an interesting narrative with this. There's going to be a lot of movement, okay? Eight of Wands, speed. Again, communication is going to take place, but the communication could be difficult with the Devil coming out. In this deck, the Devil is obsession. What I'm getting to, for some of you, that there may be some karmic connections, could be karmic love or karmic friendship coming back into the mix and wanting to communicate, wanting to meet up. So just pay attention to that energy, okay? Because there is a strong karmic energy around as well. With the karmic energy too, you also have this energy of security coming up as the King of Pentacles. So for some of you, you may have multiple options, okay? Multiple people come back into the mix, multiple people come back into your life. Could be friends, could be lovers, could be a combination of both. There are some loyal ones, there are some real ones with the Page of Cups, but you really need to use your discernment because there is a lot of illusion and delusion with the Seven of Cups. And so Seven of Cups is always my card of choose wisely. All that glitters is not gold. Again, trust your intuition and trust what you feel rather than what someone is saying to you, okay? Because this is a huge cycle of completion with the World coming out, and this was the card that dropped. So this is a huge cycle completion for all of us, individually and collectively. There's a lot of karmic cycles that are going to be ending. There's a lot of new cycles that are going to be beginning, that are going to bring in more security and more loyalty, but it is up to you to choose wisely, not choose from a place of delusion or illusion or confusion, which is the energy right now. That's why it's going to be so tricky to really trust your intuition and discernment. But there is this energy of Six of Wands, achievement, victory, success, happiness. And we have the Emperor on the bottom with structure. So definitely is a lot of energy around love with these cards coming out. Again, just choose wisely. There is going to be a lot of communication that does come in very, very quickly, very, very suddenly. For some, could be even unexpectedly. But there's still a lot of toxic and karmic energy in the air. And so this is just the time to weed your garden, all right? Pick the weeds, prune what doesn't need to be in your life anymore. Choose from your heart. Choose what and who would be loyal to you in friendship and romance and business. You know, this is a time to really do that, because if you do, you'll reach this great level of achievement. All right. So powerful energies that we are all moving into. I'm going to do one final card, and then again, divine masculine energy at the bottom with structure. So definitely you might be tempted and tested during this period. With the devil card too, it's like Spirit could throw an option that seems very tempting to you, just to kind of test you to see if you're actually ready for union, or actually ready for that true love, that higher love, and not just be tempted in the moment with something that's very karmic, very toxic, and very fleeting. And that temptation is not just about love, I'm hearing. It could be money, it could be business, it could be other relationships or other things in your life. This period may tempt you and test you to see if you're actually ready to make the higher choice for yourself. Okay, so had to bring that through because it was coming through very strongly. Final card, Kyle Gray, Gateway of Light Activation Oracle. And again, you know, I know it is typically said don't start new things during Mercury retrograde. Start new things, especially like if you need a job or if you find a beautiful place, you can move there, you can start that job. Just understand that it may not be long term. Okay, so go into it knowing that this is just going to be what I need in this moment, and when it's no longer for me, the universe is going to bring me something else. Okay, final message, final energy, Gateway of Light Activation Oracle cards from Kyle Gray. Spirit, higher self, guides, guardians, and angels. What final messages do you want to bring through? Ooh, Lemurian seed codes. It says embracing sensitivity, uniqueness, and living with grace. So you are divinely directed and protected. Embrace your sensitivity and uniqueness. It is a superpower, okay? And really, really trust what your heart is telling you and guiding you at this time. With living with grace too, it's like if you are in that energy of your authentic self, of your authentic truth, really just connecting to your sensitivity and your uniqueness, you are supported and protected and given a ton of divine grace. All right. The other thing too is the angelic frequency. The angels are here. You are safe. You are protected. And there is a potent connection between you and your star family, you and your angels, and you and your guides during this time. And so listen to your intuition and listen to your guidance. It is going to help you navigate these crazy times that we are in. All right. I am sending you guys all my love. Hope you have a beautiful day. Take care.